Hello, my name is Visor, and welcome to Game 14 of Let's Play Game Dev Tycoon. Last episode, we saw this thing about G3 that was starting, and while I was preparing the game report, this thing came up. So it looks like you can pick a booth size, and the price goes up pretty dramatically. Small booth is 80k, medium booth is 500k, and large booth is out of the fucking question. We're not even gonna think about it. So I'm not really sure what the point of the game convention is yet, but I think it's to generate hype for your games. Now, I know this game does eventually do well, but I think I'd just go with a small booth. It's safer, and I really don't know what this thing's doing right now. But anyway, let's start our prep on our new game engine and new game. This is episode 14, which means we're gonna do another big bet. And I already have a challenge suggested by VinVolk123. His challenge was, take the publishing contract that needs the highest rating. Now, depending on which contracts we get, I might modify this. I might set a minimum score required, because if all the contracts need a score of 4, that's kind of lame, you know? As for his penalty, it was to self-publish a medium game. Now, the game recommended that you needed 100k fans before you can self-publish a medium game, and we're nowhere near that yet. But before we do all that, we also need to do some research. Like I said, we also want to do a new game engine. Now, the first thing for us to decide is what type of graphics do we want to do. Since we only have 95 research points, I don't want to do more advanced 2D graphics. I have a lot of features I need to research, and the 3D graphics is cheaper and probably more impressive at this point. Additionally, I think I also want to do stereo sound. It's a feature that'll really help all games, because mono sound is so old at this point, right? I mean, the SNES just came out, and if you think about it, stereo sound is just a straight upgrade over mono sound. It's not really something you have to decide or worry about, unlike graphics. Oh, also, I'm going to send Kelly and Ryan on vacation. I don't think they were overworked last game, but for some reason, their efficiency bar is really low. Don't know why. Oh, it's G3. Looks like we're going to be showing off our Game 13 or sweaty neckbeard action. Well, stop. And I don't know if that's a good number or not. Obviously, that's a lot of people, which is great, but is that a good thing or not? I don't know. Maybe it'll affect our sales numbers, maybe it won't. I'm not really sure at this point. And I guess our goal is to make it into the top 100 booths of the year. I'm assuming we get a huge benefit in hype or sales numbers or something. But whatever, this first year we're doing it. We did all right, so. And I guess we'll be happy about it. Let's keep researching. We're kind of running low on points. We only have 40 research points now, so we can't get everything we want. Do we want branching story or dialogue tree? I guess we could also do world design, day and night cycle, but not as interested. Actually, let's see what features we have right now. So looking at story and quests, we have a few features there already. Plenty of gameplay options. But for dialogue, we don't have much going for it. Or world design, really. You probably could use a bit more there as well. How are we gonna do this? Since we have so few things for dialogue and world design, let's try to work on these two. Which you would notice is a problem since we don't have enough research points. Well, I have a plan to solve that as well. So, improve our dialogue. Now, for my plan, I need a full office. So I need to wait for these two guys to come back from vacation, which they should do as soon as the efficiency bar is full. Sequels. Sequels are interesting, but it's not something we can do right now. Additionally, it's not a game engine feature, so we're not even going to worry about researching that. Okay, both these guys are back. All right, so for the last 15 research points, I have a plan. We're going to do some contract work. It's really the only way we have left to generate research points. Now, I'm not really worried about failing these contracts. I just want everyone to be working and generating research points. And for this contract, there's actually a good chance we might fail. That's a... Ooh, what's this? Oh, the TES is no longer supported. We only released 4 games for it, but we made $5.2 million. So I think it paid for itself, really. A lot better than what we did on the G64. Actually, we might succeed on this contract, but we'll need to do a few more. Oof. Game 13 is already off the market. We really should start on our next game, but I have so much more stuff I want to do. Ooh. Fan game for Bite the Bullet. That Bite the Bullet, wasn't that also the game that got pirated? I think it was. Obviously, we don't want to stop them. This is a fan game. Probably help build us some hype, gain some new fans. At least that's how I would do it. Okay. Still need a bit more in terms of research points, so let's do a bit more contract work. Now, one more contract should get us enough to do the world design upgrade. But I'm wondering if we did all 4 of these, can we get enough research points to research world design and the story and quest thing we wanted? Maybe, but this would also be around 4 months of just contract work when we really should be working on our game. Because really, at this point, contract work does not sustain us. 4 weeks for 29K does not cover our costs at all. Though it's true that you can end a contract early if you get all the features in place, so I don't know. Main developer. Oh, okay. So cool. This is about the Bite the Bullet fan game. And apparently our legal department... Actually, do we have a legal department? Maybe it's just Ryan. Anyway, so they advised us to stop the game and we said we didn't, so hopefully we gained something from this. Alright. And we got... Cool, 3,532 new fans. Excellent. We probably could use them. So we have 4 contracts left. No, we have 3 contracts left. Yeah, I don't want to do all of them. We're not going to make another 40 research points, so there's no point. Let's just research that one last thing, which was night and day cycle. Actually, now thinking about it, what games uses a night and day cycle? I guess Pokemon does. I think Animal Crossing does, but those are all farther down the line. Does any game when the SNES came out have night and day cycles? I don't know. But anyway, let's go make our custom game engine now. What should we name it? Let's just call it Console Engine V2. We're gonna do all the graphics. Basically, when it comes to game engines, my idea is to research everything at once and put it into one engine. I think that's more efficient than doing a bunch of small separate engines, at least until we have a lot more options. Yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive to do, but I think that makes more sense than doing a bunch of smaller separate engines that have overlapping features. At least for now, anyway. Though, would I actually ever want mono sound when I can do stereo sound? I guess not. This is not even a feature anymore. Stereo sound all the way. Maybe I can do the same for other features and trim it down a little. Would I ever want better dialogue when I can have a dialogue tree? Because I mean, this makes sense. Sometimes you want open world, sometimes you don't want a day and night cycle. These are separate features. But what about dialogue and dialogue tree? You know, I think they're separate features as well. They don't seem to overlap. Maybe if I do a, racing game, I want better dialogue, but I don't want a dialogue tree. Yeah, the rest of this seems okay then. So depending on the features you pick, this is how many points you need to generate. Obviously, the more features, the more you have to generate. But at the same time, we're also generating some research points, which is pretty cool. Now, looking at Erica, her efficiency bar has been dropping pretty quickly. I think we might need to send her on vacation. Well, after the engine finishes, of course. Alright, awesome. The engine's done. Now, with the research points we generated, thinking about, well, you send Erica on vacation first. But I'm also thinking about training all these guys up a little bit. Because we need to be able to generate a lot more research points than we've been doing so far. Someone suggested doing a double training session every time, which is less efficient, but I think it works out in the long run if we can really start generating a retarded amount of research points. Market analysis. So games with new topics would be interesting. I can't do this. I mean, look, this is our big bet episode, and I can't take this type of risk as well. We already have a set of potentially difficult challenges and penalties already, and I don't need to screw it up more by doing a whole new topic that I have zero data on. That's just not very smart. So we're gonna have to ignore this market analysis once again. But anyway, everyone gets back to training, and once we finish with all our training sessions, then we'll finally start working on our next game. All right, that's all the training. We're just under $3 million. We gotta make that next game. So let's check out those publishing deals. All right, min score of 6 on the Super TES. Next one is min score of 4, min score of 7, min score of 5. Well, I guess we're going with the min score of 7 then. Now, do you think a min score of 7 is high enough? Because honestly, we've beaten a score of 7 plenty of times before. On the other hand, this is on a new system with a lot of restrictions. We have to do everyone, and we have to do history and strategy. So let's go look at the data. So we definitely did history and strategy before. No, we didn't. We did history and simulation. Ooh, this might be tricky. What do we have about strategy? Looks like we did strategy and UFO, and that's about it. So that's not too helpful. Oh, It also looks like on the TES, strategy was a bad match. And I don't really have any reason to think that it's going to be better on the Super TES. Pretty much the same target audience. But the challenge was, we gotta take the publishing deal with the highest min score. And this one definitely is it. So, you gotta do it. Let's see if there's anything else that we can glean from our previous data. Now, assuming the STES is gonna be like the TES, the fact that we have to do everyone is probably good. It's gonna work out for us. And that's actually required by the contract, so that's not gonna hurt us too much. But other than that, we don't have much else going for us, even in terms of history. Now, if this was a game that had a lot of data on, I'd probably be willing to dump a lot into marketing. But at this point, it's a bit iffy. I just don't know at this point. But either way, we gotta get started. It's been like half a year and we need to make a game. 50K. Okay, that's not too bad. We can definitely afford that. So it has to be everyone, has to be a medium game, and the rest of it's gonna be history, strategy, Super TES. And of course, we can only use our brand new engine. Now, what are we gonna name it? All right, so I've been watching a lot of extra credits recently, and they've been doing this thing on the Punic War. It's been really fucking interesting. So our history strategy game will be about the Punic War. Specifically, the Second Punic War. And probably about... And we'll make it about Hannibal. He was pretty awesome from what I've seen so far. We could make it Hannibal's Vendetta. It was a blood oath after all. Oh, it looks like we're out of letters. I could just call it Hannibal, I guess. And in the future, when we do sequels, I can have another one called Second Punic War Scipio. Yeah, that'll work. Anyway, on to game development. Alright, so for graphics, do we want to do the slightly more polished 2D or go for 3D graphics? I think at this point, I want to show off 3D. I'm thinking like an RTS like, was it Age of Empires? Yeah, that'll do. The 3D wasn't great, but it's kind of cool. Now, what do we know? Now, I've noticed on the development screens, when they do the plus signs for great, they usually have a question mark right next to it. And it doesn't really match the interface when they show for like platforms. For if everyone's great, platforms, they just put 3 green plus signs, no question mark. So I'm wondering if it changes depending on the topic, which would make things rather confusing. Let's do some simple cutscenes. I think there's a minimum requirement for story and quests here. Yeah, okay. Gameplay. Well, this is an RTS. We probably want like some game tutorials, better user experience, character progression? Maybe. I mean, this is an RTS, so do I really need character progression? On the other hand, I did say this game is going to be all about Hannibal, so maybe I do. Anyway, let's balance these features out. Obviously, we need a lot of gameplay. Maybe a bit more story and quests and drop the engine a bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, how are we going to divide this work out? Now, gameplay is important, but is it design or is it tech? I'm not sure, but I think I'll have Visor do it just because it's pretty much the most balanced we have right now anyway. For story and quests, we might have Ryan do it. His design's supposed to be a strong point anyway. As for engine work, we can just have Erica do it. It's what she's best at. Oh man, this is going to be expensive. I really hope this works out. Otherwise, it's going to get very awkward. Uh-oh, another media inquiry. Now, before I agree to this, you notice there's already a hype bar here. Do you think this is from G3? Might be. Anyway, let's see about this. We might as well agree to it. I don't think it could hurt. So maybe if we decline in the future, we can build more hype through mystery and secrecy. As for this thing, we got burned by this last time. We definitely overhyped the game. And there are a lot of unknowns right now, so maybe we should be modest. Let's keep it nice and simple and don't pull another Molyneux. Though, looking at the current numbers, at this stage, these are actually some really good numbers. So, what should we do? No. We can't go too far. Remember, this is a strategy game on the Super TES. It's probably not a great system for this. Let's be modest. So these are some ridiculously nice numbers. Good God. All right. Do we need a dialogue tree in a strategy game? I don't know. Let's throw it in there and see what happens. This might be the first game where I spend so much on features that it actually screws the game over. Who knows? Now, let's see. We have a strategy game, so I guess AI is probably important. I think level design's probably important. Dialogue, not so much. So, Erica, of course, doing AI is perfectly fine. Visor doing level design's pretty good. Let's have Kelly pull some of the slack off of Ryan. Can't have Ryan doing everything. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's keep going. Look at the hype bar. It's still building. Wait. What's going on? I'm confused. Is there already another game convention? Oh God, I spent so long building my game and working on all this other crap that it's already another G3. How are we gonna handle this one? I mean, I guess we could do a small booth again. Though, I do have a little more than $2 million left. Do I want to do a medium booth? I kind of want to, because honestly, these numbers are ridiculously good. We already have a decent amount of hype. Maybe we can get into the top 100 this time. Actually, while we're waiting, let's do some marketing. I think at this point we could probably do magazines and demos. It might overhype the game, but I mean, these numbers are just so good. Kind of want to take a bet on it, because this could be the game that makes us huge, or screws us over. We'll see. All right, for the last bit, we're gonna do stereo sound. So in this case, you do have to pick between them, which makes sense. We only want to do stereo sound. No point in researching mono anymore. But what about world design? Do we want open world and day and night cycle? We'll throw it in there, see what happens. Though it looks like there's a minimum investment in world design now, which is fine. Actually, it is a strategy game. Would world design be very important, maybe? It might be. Bounce it out this way. And world design, that's probably mostly design, which means Visor's probably our best bet, but that would overwork him. Could we balance it out by putting Erica on sound? Yeah, it's a little better. He's still a bit overworked. Well, we could also try putting Ryan on world design. I mean, design's supposed to be why we hired him. But this is also a huge part of stage 3. Kinda rather have Visor handle it. He's just a lot better than Ryan at the moment. I don't know. Well, honestly, I don't actually know what's more important at this stage. Maybe I can balance it out this way and put Visor on it. Yeah, he's still a little overworked, but it's not terrible. We really need more data on stage 3 anyway. And look at our hype, it's still climbing by so much. I really hope we don't get burned by this, because I might have done something really, really stupid. Oh, here's the second G3. Looks like we're showing off the second Punic War, as well as game number 13 still. Let's see how we do the second G3. Only marginally better. That's unfortunate. Whatever. Let's work out these last few bugs. I think we have a new record in both categories. That hype is insanely high, though. Well, let's hope for the best. Excellent. We did get new records in technology and design. And this being a strategy game, maybe technology being higher is important? I'm not really sure. But anyway, let's see the damages. Oh, whatever. Ryan got a pay increase. Oh, and we have better AI now. Another thing we really need to research, I guess. But let's see our reviews. Let's see how they did. 7, okay, that's not bad. That beats the requirement for the contract. 7 and 8. Okay, so we're probably in the 7 to 8 range, which is good. We definitely met our contract. But other than that, it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Whether all that hype helped or hurt our game. Hard to say at this point. But anyway, let's go see those final sales numbers. Alright, so looking at the final game report, we did learn some new things. History and strategy is a great combination, and level design seems to be very important, which is something we actually tried to do. Unfortunately, it turns out strategy in the Super TS is a bad combination, though we did expect that. Additionally, we got a bit more additional insight on Erica. Apparently, she's still feeling pretty new, and she's still adjusting to the team, so we still have higher potential from her. Finally, onto the sales numbers, we definitely brought in a lot more income and a lot more profit. Unfortunately though, I also spent a lot of money on that medium booth at G3, so that dramatically cut down on our actual profit margin. So in the end, this big bet, while a success, did not propel us to the next level yet. We're still going to be doing medium games for a while longer. But that's it for this episode. Next episode, hopefully we'll do even better. But until then, thank you for watching and hope to see you guys next time.